Well, good evening, YouTube. This is RES2484, and yes, I have returned after I'd say about a month without really doing any live streams. Now, I think the title of this particular stream kind of says it all. So, here, let me bring up the game here so we can get some background music. So, before I start this, as you can see, the past month, I've actually been, came down with COVID-19 and I was hospitalized for 5 days. And now I'm currently at home recovering. So, I was diagnosed on the 7th of August. And I had to go to the hospital 4 days later because I couldn't breathe. So, yeah. It's been a little rough going. To be honest with you, it's kind of put me in a new perspective towards, towards life and all that. And I just wanted to give you my first-hand account of what I had to go through. I don't want this to be negative or in any way, but I think people really ought to know, to me, what really going through COVID is really like. This is not something to promote like vaccines or something like that. I'm not putting any pressure on anybody to do that. That's a personal decision. So I'm not doing that. It just this is just my first-hand account of what has happened to me in the past month. So let's go ahead and get a cargo first. This stream was sort of like last minute. I was gonna wait until tomorrow to do it, but I figured, well, I have a lot of time on my hands, so I'm just gonna do something. Let's see, we're trying to find something here. I found some. What was it? This thing. It was a reservoir tank. We can go from 374 miles, which actually seems like a decent amount. I mean, I really cannot do things too long right now because, doing stuff like this still kind of exhausts me. But I'll do the best I can with what we have. So let's go ahead and fire this up. So back in my Freightliner Cascadia. Now there's a different profile I was on that I was actually bought a Western Star 49X, and I was driving that around. But that's another profile that's kind of not, The flipping? Oh, wait a second. 102 miles. What the hell am I? Oh, that's in Colville. Oh. Ooh. Okay. I thought that said Spokane. It's expected Friday. 10. Well, I have to go 100 miles just to get it? Okay. Definitely not supposed to do this, but I don't really care. Alright. Okay, well that was weird. I don't know why it said 106 miles. That's fucked up. So, alright, So, this whole COVID thing really kind of started sort of like with something that I thought was a little bit on the innocent side. So, start off July 29th, which was well over a month ago. July 29th is my dad's birthday, so the very next day was on, let's see, that was a Friday. So, I went to work as usual. I mean, at that time I felt fine. So anyway, when I got to work, I was kind of mingling with my coworkers, and I got a voice message that was really faint from my mother. So I could barely hear it, so I called her back. And of course, my mother had been feeling well the past couple of days, so I was a bit concerned about her. So I called her, and she told me that she was positive for COVID, right? So, well, of course, me being at work, it's not... Oh, I can turn this. Okay, cool. So, that being said, I had to leave work because I had no choice, right? So I let my supervisor know, and I left work, and that was close. So I left work and immediately got tested at a place across the street from where I worked, and later on those test results were negative, right? So anyway, next couple of days, I was like, well, it's been cleared, so I'm gonna let my job know about it, and to go from there. So get out of the way, dude. Move it. Freaking asses. Anyway. So yeah, so I thought that was pretty much the end of that. But anyway, so later on, it was like, I'd say, when was it? It's funny because we fast forward to that Monday, and I was getting something out of the dryer. Well, on Sunday, we got a new refrigerator and ice maker, so I hauled that up the stairs, and didn't think too much about it. Well, Monday night I was getting something out of the dryer, and I just had this sort of like a balloon type feeling, pop in my back on the right side, and it just had this searing amount of pain, right? Like, it was just horrible. So I was thinking, I was like, man, what the hell did I do to my back, right? So it was horrible. So on Tuesday, I had to go and so I had to call into work and say, I have to go check this out. I had to go to a doctor. So I went and checked it out. Apparently it was a muscle sprain. So they gave me some medicine for that, and I just continued to, not worry about it. Of course, my mother got, significantly worse and worse as the day wore on. So I was getting very concerned about her. So yeah, that particular week I was out just for my back sprain. So it was getting better towards the end of the week. But, then I started to notice towards the end of that week, I don't exactly know when, but I started to feel kind of, I don't know, I just started getting these night sweats. I started getting this, huge 102, 103 degree temperature, and it was getting harder and harder for me to breathe every day, right? So, let's see, go ahead and repair that. So I hit that guy, so might as well repair this while I'm at it. How much? Oh, I need some fuel. Get some fuel here. So that being said, so yeah, that week was I was just getting progressively worse. Now, by that next weekend, I would say, I literally was feeling like shit. All right, so I was like, yeah, I was feeling horrible. I was just, and all this fever and stuff like that, and literally like, okay, there it goes. So we don't have to worry about fuel now. Go ahead and pick this cargo. I have a lollygag in here. Well, it's not bad. Alright, let's go ahead and get in the right lane here. Alright, cool. Alright. So we're fixed up and fueled up, so we're good to go now. Alright, so anyway, so skip to the 7th of August, which was a Saturday. So I just felt absolutely horrible. So I decided to go to that same emergency room, and it was just hard for me to breathe, and I couldn't really, do anything. Like I had to make myself go there, right? And so I told them what was going on, and by that time, like I think it's like Friday or Saturday night, I noticed that I really couldn't taste or smell anything anymore. So I'm not thinking, I was like, oh crap, I mean, I have this. So it's obvious, right? So anyway, so I go to that same emergency room. It's one of those standalone emergency room centers, like, something you would, it's like a standalone emergency room that's not in a hospital. So anyway, so I went there a second time. So I told them what was going on, and yeah, they gave me a COVID test, and sure enough, I was positive, right? Which was, about that time, obvious. So anyway, so yeah, so I immediately had to let my job know, what was, definitely what was going on, so so yeah, on Monday I had to contact him and said, hey, I'm positive for COVID. I need to, follow the necessary protocol and stuff. So that's what I did, right? So anyway, I decided I'm pause here for just a second. So I decided to, I took care of that, and on Monday, my mother was in really bad shape. It was hard for her to get around, and she just made the ultimate decision. She had to go to the hospital, because it was getting worse and worse. I mean, her oxidation rate, it's how they measure how much oxygen your lungs are getting into your body. So normally it's between 97 and 99%. Hers was all over the place. I think it got all the way down to like 70-something%, which was bad. I think it got as low as like 59% or something like that. I don't necessarily remember exactly the specifics, but alright, let's go pick up this cargo, which is right there. Cool. Alright. So why am I doing that? Alright, let's get this cargo and get this on the road, and we'll continue our discussion. I don't necessarily like it. It's right by the... Oops, my bad. Should have enough fuel to get there. They got a 200-gallon tank in this thing, so go ahead and do a little. Go ahead and go out this same way we came here. All right. So yeah, this is what we're hauling, by the way. It's a simple tank. So. Whoa. Lady, you might as well go. What are you stopping for? There we go. So, yeah. Okay, so that was Monday, and of course, I wasn't feeling well. I was not, you know, I was not in the right state of mind. I was constantly getting fevers, just these horrible chills. It took me forever to catch my breath. I was in such rough shape, I had no appetite whatsoever. I had to force stuff down my throat, you know? And so a couple days went by, I just kept getting worse and worse, right? So my mother kept constantly calling me because she was already in the hospital getting treated for it. And so there I was, alone in my house, you know, with just feeling absolutely terrible. I just didn't know what else to do. And then finally on Wednesday, my mother just convinced me that I just need to go to the hospital. I just can't fight this alone. And at the time, I just felt so bad that I was thinking, you know what, I don't necessarily like hospitals. I kind of have a fear of them, but I knew that this is something that I had to do, right? I was like, I gotta cut this shit here, you know? I was like, I need some professional help, you know? So, well, I live in a 2-story house, townhouse, so it took me 2 hours to get downstairs, just to give you kind of an idea of it. And, well, yeah, I'm not kidding, 2 hours. Literally, it took me that long. Because I had to get up, I had to go to the bathroom, and that takes 30 minutes whatsoever, you know, at the time, just for me to get the hell out of bed, you know. So, emergency room did give me a steroid inhaler so it can help me breathe. So that's the only thing that's keeping me from, you know, gasping for air. Even though it was temporary, you know, at least it was something. Alright. So, anyway, so I decided that I was like, well, I'm just going to take what I have and just go to the hospital, alright? So I didn't really even take anything with me, because I just didn't really know, you know. I just got my phone charger, stuff in my pocket, as far as I'm thinking, well, that's the only thing that I really care about, besides my wallet, keys, and, you know, all that other stuff that I have, right? So, anyway, so I managed to get myself in my car, which was a trip, you know, like you wouldn't believe, right? Just imagine struggling to breathe, trying to walk, and it's only like 100 or so feet to my garage. It's not far at all, but this particular time, it felt like it was miles away. So there I was. I finally got in my car. My mother was on the phone with me constantly, trying to guide me there. So I finally got there, and I had to park in a parking garage on the 2nd floor. So I literally had to walk. Now this seems like minuscule, but when you're hurting like me, and of course I had pneumonia as well. That's why it was hard for me to breathe. So I forgot to mention that. I had a moderate, bad case of pneumonia, and there I was getting in my car going to the hospital, you know. So I managed to get there. I get into the emergency room, and they asked me my information and stuff, and they immediately put me on oxygen because my oxygen rate was down to like in the low 80s. So I'm thinking, yeah, you needed some help, alright? So anyway, so they managed to get me into a room. Now the ER is like, they're using the pediatrics, ward for, because, they didn't really have much room in the emergency room because they wanted to isolate the COVID-19 patients. So I went in there, and I was probably sitting there. They kind of evaluated me and stuff, and they said that, well, I'll definitely need to be admitted. So there I was in the emergency room for 8 hours, from I'd say about 3. I'd say, yeah, it was after 3 to about a little after 11 o'clock at night when they actually found me a room. And so there I was. Now, I'll leave all the personal details out, but from the whole course of me doing this, I was given 5 doses of an antiviral that is remdesivir or something like that. And so I was given that. I was given steroids to help me breathe. I was doing breathing treatments. And first couple days were a bit rough, but later on I was able to do more stuff, and it's actually able to walk to the restroom, which was the most horrifying thing in my life to do, because it just literally just weathered me down to like an old man, pretty much. And so there I was. So that was Wednesday. So every day passed by. First couple of days was kind of rough, because I really you can't sleep in hospitals, I just couldn't. I couldn't sleep, I was just hurting so bad. And they did give me medication and stuff for that later on, but anyway, it was rough going. But by the 3rd day, I was actually kind of feeling like I was actually making some sort of difference, right? So gee, that sucks. Yeah, I guess we're going this way now. So by the 3rd day, I was actually doing kind of good. I was having some, personal issues, and I had a little episode I think it's like the 3rd day, I think, and that was upsetting. But so by the 4th day, I was able to start getting up and getting around. It was difficult at first, but I was able to do it. I was on oxygen until the final day, which was Monday, the 16th. And so by Monday the 16th, I was fully off oxygen, and I was actually kind of getting up and down, going to the restroom, and kind of walking around. They did sort of like a breathing stress test on me, and they evaluated me, saying that I could be discharged. So they discharged me at 4:15 p.m. on Monday the 16th of August. And so the nurses, God bless them, they're probably one of the best hospitals I went to. These nurses are understaffed, and they are overworked, and this COVID thing is just getting worse with the Delta variant. So, which I'm pretty much convinced that I had, but it's kind of hard to tell, really. But anyway, so that being said, of course, through the whole 5 days of me being there and this whole COVID thing, I'd lost over 20 pounds. Because I just really couldn't eat, because you couldn't taste or smell nothing, right? So there I was, just trying to make the best of it. But so the head nurse was the one that actually wheeled me all the way out to my car in the parking garage, helped me load all my stuff that I got from the hospital there. Some things my mother brought me the previous couple of days, and so God bless her. I mean, they did everything that they possibly could for me. And by that time, I was breathing on my own, and I was actually doing better, but I was weak as hell. Now to describe how weak I was, I could barely hold myself up, like, how old people kind of slouch over. I was doing that because my lower body just was weak, and I just had no muscle tone whatsoever, right? So yeah, with that being said, it's like, well, I got home. I mean, I was literally according to my mother, was a skeleton. Now, my mother actually got out a few days earlier that Thursday, so she was out, but unfortunately she was on oxygen, and she has a blood sugar issue now, so I won't go into that. But yeah, so she was still on oxygen. But anyway, so I got home, and the first couple of days were really hard because my bedroom's on the second floor, so going upstairs is a huge obstacle. I was actually able to do it, I was actually really surprised I was able to do it the first time. But each day after that, it got sort of better. I still had a lot of crap in my lungs from pneumonia, and I still do have some stuff in there. So, would you look at that in a viewpoint? We'll probably have to get back to that at some point. Anyway, so, yeah. So, that was basically my journey with COVID in a nutshell. And I'm still battling it. I'm no longer contagious because I haven't had a fever in almost 2 weeks. So, I'm not contagious anymore. But, yeah, so... But since then, it's been, what is it, the 26th now? So, I've been home 10 days now, and I have to say that it's a lot easier for me to do stuff right now. I'm still not strong enough to go back to work. It's probably going to be September before I go back, so yeah, that's going to suck. But I got things arranged. I mean, I'm okay financially for now. So luckily I had some stuff saved up. But anyway, so that's relatively my story about COVID. I'm still recovering every day, and probably it's going to take a long time for me to get back to where I was. But I just thought about live streaming tonight and kind of let you guys know, put on record on YouTube exactly what I went through. Now, it was an emotional roller coaster to begin with, because I was there alone in that hospital because they did not allow visitors, and for obvious reasons. And but I had my cell phone, so my family kept in constant contact with me. So there are days that are very difficult, and that I wish to not relive again, as long as I live. And it's worn me down so that I don't even recognize myself. When I first looked in the mirror when I got home, I was just skin and bones. I'm like, I didn't look like that since I was a teenager, to be honest with y'all. Maybe late 20s, maybe. But yeah, just to me it wasn't a pretty sight, And I had all these, I don't know, it was these black spots, those adhesive from those little things and those sensors that they put on you. That's what they were from, but I was wearing those things for 5 days, and I didn't shower because I was just too weak to. And yeah, so I'm still trying to scrub those off, but they eventually will get off. I mean, it's not a permanent thing, So yeah, so yeah, I mean, I'm a lot more energetic and way better than what I was. What the hell is that truck doing? So yeah. So yeah, that's about it, really. So, just taking it day by day right now. Just trying to take it easy, kind of relax, Today was actually the first day I've actually ever played this game, Because before I just had no strength to. So, that's why I'm live streaming with you guys tonight. So, It's kind of a last minute thing, but I just thought it just needed to be done, you know? I wanted to do it, so, you know, so I haven't streamed in a very long time, so, yeah. Because right now, you know, I don't necessarily feel like streaming Euro Truck right now, because I know we still got lots to do in the Iberia DLC and all that, which I'll probably get back to at some point, but I just really want to play American Truck Sim right now because it kind of gives me a moment of zen, you know. I just, you know, gets my mind off things, kind of looking at the scenery and not necessarily having to worry about, you know, being anywhere, just going at the being my own drum, you know, cutting cars off, hitting them if I want to, you know, not really feeling too guilty about it, you know, just sort of a guilt-free experience, you know. So yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, that's what I've been going through. Jeez. Yeah, that was a bad turn. Oh well. No one's perfect. I love driving through here. It's so pretty. See, I just love this. This is... yeah. This is what's up. You know. That convoy thing was interesting, but I don't necessarily like the fact when you're actually in motion, you cannot go back to the, yeah, you can't go back to the, main menu, which I don't necessarily like that. That's only when you do the online convoy thing, but in game you can actually do that anytime you want to, but I'm just saying. Going up these beautiful mountains. Oh, just love the scenery. Yeah, go ahead and turn my lights on. So it'll be dark soon. And unfortunately, this will probably be the only trip I'm going to do tonight because I'm still easily exhausted by stuff like this. So, but I kind of at least wanted to at least do this. I might live stream a little bit more later this week sometime. I don't really know. I don't really necessarily want to guarantee anything, but also another thing I want to talk about is, I mean, I know in one of my streams, I think someone mentioned about, you know, friending on Facebook and stuff like that. I just want to kind of clear that up because that was kind of bothering me. I just don't want to scare people off with that. I mean, I choose not to do that for personal reasons, so please don't take any offense by it, okay? So that's all I've got to say about it. Because I don't necessarily like Facebook that much, you know? Because, you know, they steal your information and stuff, and I just keep that to keep up with family and stuff, so I really don't use it for YouTube content, so that's the reason why. So hopefully they'll kind of clear up some air for some people. Hopefully I didn't offend anybody. So anyway, so with that out of the way, so there's a big announcement today for the Wyoming DLC, which is going to be coming out Tuesday, September 7th. So, yeah, so will have a doctor's appointment that day, so hopefully by that week I should be back to, hopefully going back to work at some point. But, yeah, we're just going to have to see about that. I'll just see what the doctors say. But anyway, so yeah, so September 7th is for the Wyoming DLC. So unfortunately, they always pick a Tuesday. I don't know why they always do that middle of the week for that. I really wish they did like the 6th or something, so I can at least live stream it. I mean, I'll probably be able to live stream it on, at least Tuesday night, I think. So this depends on what my doctor says, So when I can actually go back to work, so I have to deal with all that shenanigans. But I definitely want to live stream that for y'all. So it's the least I can do. Because after Wyoming DLC, the next one's going to be Texas. So, but that's not going to be well into next year. So, so yeah, so we're going to have kind of like a long period where we're probably not going to see many map expansions. So, which is absolutely fine with me, really. Because I'll continue to play this regardless, because I love this game. So, continue to live stream it for y'all regardless. And we already discovered every city and all that. Who cares? I'll get back to Euro Truck at some point. Just gotta be in the right mood for it, because I just have noticed it, like, once I play it, I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm not burnt out of it or anything. It's just one of those things that's like, you're in a particular mood for a particular game. Like, it could be Euro Truck, it could be American Truck Sim, it could be Fortnite or Splatoon 2 or, whatever structure fancy, you've done everything, you did everything, it's, but you still want to play it, and that's kind of like how I am with American Truck Sim right now. I just kind of want to continue to play it, do some heavy cargoes, just mess around, go where I want to go, expand my trucking empire, just have at it, I mean, that's what I plan to do. So, Euro Truck, yeah, that will, yeah, that'll happen eventually. So we're less than 100 miles from our target destination. So it's just now getting dark. So I do appreciate anyone watching the stream for joining me this evening and letting me share my story. Because I want to spread COVID awareness, I'm not going to be telling, forcing people to get a, oh, we're coming across the highway. Why is everybody slowing down? Well, there's a reason right there. Alright, so, but, all right. Yeah, I know, I'm definitely being an asshole right there, but I am not waiting for these AI to pass. I was like, I want to get going. Alright. We're back on Interstate 5 here, so... There we go. Nice and easy. Now it's nighttime. That's cool. Actually, it's fun to drive at night now with this new lighting system they have. It's quite impressive. Ow, my back hurts. Whew! It feels good doing this again. So, yeah, so once I eventually go back to work, yeah, my schedule has changed. I'm having to go in earlier, so I just don't know if I can really stream during the week. But I'm gonna try to stream at least once a week. That's my goal for now, and then, you know, figure it out later. You know, I was like, I'm not gonna be, you know, saying stuff and then just it not happen. I mean, I'm oh, okay, some sort of bridge. Yeah, too bad I really can't see shit. So, guess yeah, that definitely was a bridge. All right. Oh man, it's a good thing we're getting close, man. My back really hurts. See, like I said, I just don't have much strength in that area anymore, right now at least. But yep, this whole thing sucks. I just say, I don't know. I wish it on my worst enemy to go through something like this. I'm just saying. So. Man, what kind of off-ramp is this? Okay, that's a bridge. Okay. It's almost like we're... Oh. Okay, we're coming in from the left. That's cool. Alright. Oh wow, that's pretty. See, I like buildings lit up at night. I don't know. Night driving is really unique. You see things in a whole different light when you drive at night. Now it's 45. Sure, okay. Oh wow, it's like literally getting off the highway right here. Okay. Alright then. And that's a way to exit the highway. And oh, we are turning. No, we're not. Oh wow, look at these amber lights. Oh, I miss these mercury vapor lights. They don't really use them anymore. They use LEDs and stuff now. They don't use these high intensity discharge bulbs anymore. Oh, maybe this is ionized sodium. One of them is like a bright white and one of them is amber. I think it might be ionized sodium, I think. If I have that right. Some of these cars like to turn. Don't necessarily trust them. You know, like some of them just like to turn left at random, and are turning as well. It's like, alright, where do you want this thing? Alright. Let's see, so it wants to go where? Okay, I cannot see. Yeah, these... What I'm trying to do here is trying to angle it to where I can just turn it. So it's going to have to go to that far bay on the right. Come on. See that bay right there. Oh, what the fuck are you doing? No, oh, that's probably screwed me up. What? No. No, I just kind of far over to the left. I didn't really want it. Let's start tipping it. More to the right. More to the right. Let's see. No. More to the right. Ha. Child's play. Alright. Yeah. Definitely. Okay, folks. Well, I think that's that's the only trip that I can do for this evening. But I do appreciate everybody stopping by this evening. It's a kind of a sudden thing, but this will be on YouTube later for anybody that's missed it. So in conclusion, just before I sign off, I just want to, just kind of take a moment for all the nurses and doctors that, are treating COVID-19 patients at this time. Just there's a little bit of, this trip was dedicated to them because this is the least I can do to celebrate them, to, represent them, on the stuff that they actually go through, because my hospital I was at was understaffed and they did the best they possibly could, for all the COVID-19 patients that are coming in. And we're running out of hospital beds here in Houston area. So it's just imperative that people just be as careful as possible, do what they think is right. I was like, I'm not forcing nobody to go get the vaccine. That's a personal decision, but I say do whatever means necessary to keep you safe, and that's where I'm going to leave it. So until the next time, folks, thank you so much for being with me this evening, and I'm looking forward to being with you next time, where we can continue on just going wherever the hell we want to, and hauling whatever we want. So until then, folks, thanks so much for watching today's stream, and I'll see y'all next time.